So I started explaining how to make a levels adjustment layer in the last video, and I want to go more in depth following the book here because one of the questions that was brought up on day one was how do you know if you've done the adjustment properly? And with levels, because it's one of those important adjustments for all images, to make sure you have good tone in your image, enough shadows, enough highlights, enough midtones. It's good to know the rule of thumb to follow, at least to start, as a starting point. Then if you don't like it, you can always adjust it to your liking because in the end it's all subjective. So I'm going to go in and see, I made this levels adjustment. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go make sure I'm on my sofa layer, click on the levels adjustment to open the properties, and right now this is the levels for the entire image, but if I just wanted to affect the couch, I can click on this icon. It's called, yes, this is the clip to layer icon, and if I click, then there's a little arrow that appears over here to indicate that it's only it's only affecting the layer below it, the sofa layer. And it looks like it even underlined the sofa layer just to make it a little more clear. And so if you notice my little diagram here changed, this is called a histogram. It shows the quality of the image. And if I click on this icon over here, it makes it a little more dramatized, I guess, to show the different depths of tone throughout the image. And for this one slider on the left, this is for shadows, and they were saying that you should adjust it to the point where there's a transition. So right at about 30, in the book it was saying 30 for the couch on the shadows, and then for the highlights you pull it in to where it's just starting to peak up, so like 223. And then with the middle slider you can adjust that at your discretion, but at least you have a good amount of shadows and highlights. And this is a general rule, so if you don't like it, it doesn't, you don't have to stick to it. But somebody was asking me if there was a system or a certain way that people generally adjust images, and so that's how it is according to the book. And that was new for me because I had never realized that system. Okay, so what's the other thing? So the other thing that I wanted to show you, oh yes, to finish the adjustment, you can just hit that little minimize icon, and then right now my little history or levels adjustment panel is floating out here, but I can attach it back to this little bar for all the like shortcuts. Let me see if that works with the other ones. Let's see. The icon for, oh yes, hue and saturation is another important one that the book talks about. So if I see hue and saturation, darn it. Okay, I get what's going on. There's one icon for the properties for all the adjustments. So if I go back to my vibrance, it replaces what was there. And then if I go to hue saturation and the one I just created, it's also in this icon in that bar for the properties. Okay, so anyway, I'm not bent out of shape about that. That's kind of cool. Alright, so what I wanted to show you was for hue and saturation. Hue has to do with the colors, and if I adjust the hue slider, it changes the colors. And if I want it just to apply to the couch, I think I can just hit this. Yeah, that works. So the one that's affect all layers below. Let's see, and I can just adjust the couch independently. Ooh, what color should it be? Green is nice. It matches the ivy. And what else? I think that's it. Anyway, try different adjustments for your homework or your independent project. I think it's really fun.